guys. Just in case if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Ibrahim. I'm from Sierra Leone, and I'm sure I relate with a lot of you guys across Africa. You know, there's a lot of Ibrahims in Nigeria, for example. I'm sure they have a few in Ghana. You know, I'm not sure about Ivory Coast, but across Africa, though, right? I currently live in the United States, so welcome to the channel. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget, because there's a problem with us as African folks. You know, we don't tend to, pay attention to these things. But, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell, for the notifications. So every time I upload a video, you guys will be able to get a hold of that video, because we have to educate ourselves as Africans. That's what I see. And that is what the problem is. And today we are grateful because a lot of Africans have really, woken up. And we see a level of sensitization across the continent that is, really amazing. And, our brothers and our sisters, especially those on the continent, are beginning to understand that, the world is leaving us behind, and we have to stand up. And some of those rights that we have to use them, right? You're talking about, rights to free speech, right? Rights to protest. I don't know about other African countries, but I know in Sierra Leone, where I'm from, we have a constitution like all other African countries. I just don't know exactly what chapter, when it comes to your freedoms of expression and that of the media, or when it comes to the right of protest, I don't know what chapter it belongs. But if you're Nigerian or African or Ghanaian, Liberian, across the continent, you're watching this video, I want you to do yourself a favor. Go and research. Find your constitution for your country. It is on Google. Just Google it up. You'll be able to find your constitution and see what chapters that have to do with your rights to free speech and your rights to protest. Because Africans, it's time we pay attention to our politics. If you say, oh, well, I don't care about politics, no, you have to care, regardless of where you are. I don't care if you're overseas or you're back home in Africa. Pay attention to your politics, because the problem that we have today in Africa is because we've elected terrible politicians across the globe, across the board. And these people they've not been serving the needs of the African people. And until we as Africans stand up and say enough is enough, we are not going to change. So today what I'm going to talk about is this, right? I'm going to talk about this video, the protest that was organized by Nigerians on June 12th for democracy. I'm going to look at it from the point of view of how this happens across Africa, where African leaders don't really want the people to protest, because I think when they see folks protest, to them it's like a threat. To them, protest is like, okay, they want to kick us out of power. And of course, that means we're not going to be able to steal in the amount of monies and resources that they've been stealing from the people, that they've been stealing from the people of Africa for so long, right? And that nature, we know they don't want to give that up under no circumstances. It's not going to be easy. That's why we have to put up a fight. So I'm going to share this video of you guys, with you guys. This is Nigeria. And I'll also link this up with, what happened in Sierra Leone. And the reason why I'm just saying I'm going to use this Nigerian video and relate that to Sierra Leone. I know across Africa, except for like Liberia and close to President George Oppong Weah, when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the former president, led a protest in Liberia, we saw how the government, the police, the military actually even, protected the people, because they believed that, protest was the way to go. And they believe it's a constitutional rights that is guaranteed, to the people of Africa. So, hey, guys, again, share this video. If you have not shared this video whilst you're watching it right now, share this video, like this video, share this across your, groups in your various African, countries, because you're going to be seeing more of these kinds of videos. We have to educate ourselves, like I said. So it's very important that Africa transforms. For those of us, I'm based in the United States, but just because I'm in the United States doesn't mean I should give up on on Africa. Our brothers and sisters are suffering. For some of us, we've come to this country, we've seen what good life is all about, and we want to take it back to our brothers in Africa, right? We want to take it back to our sisters in Africa, because if anything, women are suffering more than men. Because some women, they don't want to break up their marriages and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, because of hard time and poverty, a lot of women, over 75% of African women actually cheat. The reason being because, they're not going to sit back and watch their kids suffer. I'm not saying that's why you should, as African woman. Don't. You should not cheat. It's not right. Because if anything, it's bringing a curse to your kids, and you know what that means. So you guys have to work together. Work with your husband. See how you can, what you can do to improve your living standards and your conditions. Because we know, again, that is why we're going to continue to educate you guys so you can have this voice to listen to across the globe to say, as African people, we have to stand up. The time is now. Enough is enough. So I want to thank you again if you're just joining this channel. I want to appreciate you. And I want you guys to know that, Africa is going to be transformed for sure. We're going to have the basics. Africans are not asking for much, right? We're asking for what? Electricity. We're asking for proper healthcare. We're asking for clean water to drink. Because everything else follows. We're talking about education. All of that stuff follows if we can take care of the basics. Give us electricity. Give us access to proper healthcare. Give us clean drinking water. When you have these three, everything else will fall in place. Education will have quality. Because now you don't have to worry about your health, right? You don't have to worry about electricity. You don't have to worry about anything else. You can focus on your education. So give us that electricity. Just give us proper health care. And give us clean drinking water. We stay healthy. We are good. Now, guys, let me show you this. Because it's a trend across Africa where African leaders don't want you guys to really exercise your rights to free speech and your rights to protest. In Sierra Leone, like I said. So again, the assignment for you guys before I play this video, research your constitution in your country. I want you to be able to say section so-and-so. Like, for example, Sierra Leone's constitution as ratified by former President Joseph Saidu Momoh. As ratified by former President Joseph Saidu Momoh in 1991, when the constitution of Sierra Leone was reformed, so we can have a multi-party system. After Albert Magai, SLPP guy, came and they changed and brought all these draconian laws. That changed our system to where we had a one-party system. But thank God for former President Joseph Saidu Momoh, who actually came and said, you know what? I am going to change this constitution so we can have a multi-party system. And that is what we have today in Sierra Leone. But there's a lot of things I can talk about that. Is there democracy in the country right now at this very moment? We know it's not. President Julius Maada Bio is actually, sitting on the rights of our people. But again, in Sierra Leone's constitution, section 25 tells you that you have the protections to your freedoms of expression in the media. It gives you the rights to free speech, even though our people are being ostracized. We have a case of a young man right now, Michael Mansare in Sierra Leone, that was arrested, framed, and lied upon, then sentenced to prison for 8 months because it said the former president Adesbai Koroma, actually built a stadium in the southern part of Sierra Leone, which is the main, political base of the ruling party in Sierra Leone right now, which is the SLPP. They call themselves Sierra Leone People's Party, but we know it's only for a certain segment of the population. But that's a whole segment I can do on another day. Let me leave that. Section 26 in 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone says you have the protections to your freedoms of assembly and association, which means you have the rights to protest. You have the rights to belong to any political party organization, right? But now, let me play this video because this is a trend across Africa where these African leaders are always ostracizing the people of Africa not to protest. So watch this video, guys, so you can see what happened in Nigeria on June 12th. Guys, just in case you're wondering what I'm drinking, I was just, drinking some Powerade there, okay? Anyways, but listen to this. You see, across Africa, for most of these countries, we notice that the people are all crying for change. Everybody's crying for change. But what eventually happens is these leaders actually go after the people when they come to protest with the police. They use the police force to come against our people. But, the problem that we have when you look at with the police as an example, let's take the police, right? These guys they're living way worse lives than some of the people that are actually protesting in these African countries. These police have a very terrible, standard of living. They don't even have access to healthcare. Some of these police officers and their families are living in destitute conditions. But the governments are using these police. So, we always say, of course, in Africa, what we lack is strong institutions. And how do we have institutions? It's about having the people with the right mindset to say, we have to change, the language, we have to stand for what is right. That is the problem we have in Africa. And until us as a people can come together, including the police, the military, and say, you know what, man, it's about the people. And we have to uphold the constitutional rights of the people and not these politicians. Because just because a politician comes and gives you a tip for the day, they give you something small and you think, oh, you've made it. But when you have the institutions, the head of these institutions, the police, IGPs or, whatever you call them in your country is the head of the police, the IGs, Inspector Generals, or whatever the case may be. These guys mostly, what you see is these leaders actually have people that are partisan. They elect people that they, think sees the vision that they have, which is to, bring their political party of the tribes ahead. And you'll see that in Africa, a lot of these people, what ends up happening is they use the same citizens that are suffering, but just because they have connections to the political party in power, or they feel like they have some connections to some of these politicians in power, these same people that are suffering, if you look at these people, they suffer, like I said again, with the police. I'm putting them all together, right? The police, the military, for some of them, and these citizens. These people are living in slums. These people are living in dilapidated conditions, terrible conditions. Some of these people live in conditions where not even my dog, would live in conditions like those, right? Some dogs in this part of the world that we find ourselves. And some are going to find this offensive when I say dog. Because they look at him, he's telling us that we look like, he's comparing us to dogs. But that is because you don't know exactly what we're talking about. Some of you people are living abject poverty. You're living in abject poverty. Like you wake up in the morning, you're thinking about what am I going to feed? How am I going to feed my family? That's how terrible this is. And until you guys have to realize and understand that, don't let these politicians come and, distract you from your focus to make a life that is better for you and your kids. Because if you don't even care about yourselves, care about your kids. That is all we're asking for a lot of us. Just think about the future generation, because it's generation after generation. Why should we, and most of us in Africa, go without electricity? Don't you ask yourself the question? Why should we go without, having access to proper healthcare? Some of these people that are coming out, that are protesting that are going against the protesters, they are supporting President Buhari or these other presidents in Africa. Some of these people don't even have access to healthcare. If they get sick right now in this process, say they get injured, they get attacked, these people don't even have access to proper healthcare. They don't even have money to go to the hospital to take care of themselves. That's how terrible it is. So I want you all to understand, Africans, like I said, this is just the beginning, right? We're going to start talking about these issues in depth, show you physical examples of what is happening. Let me take you to Sierra Leone, for example, where when this President Julius Maada Bio in Sierra Leone came to power, and, in 2018, what they did, everything that the previous government did, they didn't care. They shut it down. They said, oh, no, it's because they belong to another tribe or another region, or the contract was not written out properly. This is how these guys think. They shut these students down. The Lincoln Queen. Matter of fact, if you're from Nigeria, you saw a video that Pararan of Mock News did when he talked about that. The president shut down the university. And some of these students now have to go back to doing stuff like broken stones in the landfills with their mothers. When some of these students would have been the first in their generation to actually have college education, graduate, come out and save the rest of the family. So I'm saying all of these things to you to understand the repercussions. African people, listen, you don't have to have these politicians, the interest of these politicians above your own interest. Don't have your tribe over your country's interest. African people, I'm begging you. I'm speaking to you civilizedly. I'm not trying to impede this thing on you. I'm not trying to force it on you. I just want you to take the time and say, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not just about my tribe or about my political party or what part of the country I'm from. I want you to start thinking about the bigger good of your country. It could be Nigeria, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, all of these places. Guinea, Conakry, Togo, Gabon. Gabon is a whole other thing. When we're talking about, monarchies and, autocracies, that's the whole different ballgame, right? You take countries like Cameroon. Paul Biya has been there for over 30-something years. Up to now, the people of Cameroon cannot come together and say, we can get rid of this man. That is a conversation for a whole other day. But let me show you these students that I was talking about in Sierra Leone. The president, Julius Maada Bio, shut down the university. And these students became dropouts. That's how terrible it is. And when these students protested, they sent the police. So check this out. So you see, that's the thing. So now check this out, right? They're going to send the police now to intercept these people. And watch the chaos that erupts as the police comes in. Watch this. And this is what we have. As you can see now, they are arresting the protesters. It is the trend across Africa. They don't believe that the people should come out and speak up and for these officials to listen to them. They use the police against our people. And that's terrible. I'm sure every African would agree with me, because when you look at the trend, and this is very important, I want you guys to note this. When you look at these political parties, for most African countries, you have two political parties that are dominant. It is either this one is in power or the other comes out. This one is in power, this one is out of power, the other one comes in, right? So when you look, these African folks, our African brothers and sisters, ourselves, what we do is, when we are in opposition, we are the loudest opposing the government in power. But no sooner our government comes in power, the same principles and ideals that we stood for changes. Now it does not matter because our political parties are in power. That is the problem in Africa. That is the simplest way I can put this. So until us as Africans, we say, it don't do, enough is enough, let us think about ourselves and put our interest above everything else. Africa is not going to move forward. So think about this. This is very important that I just mentioned. Because why? In Africa, the politics is all about tribal. It's all about region. My brothers are in power or my sisters are in power, so I'm not going to oppose them. Until all of us think alike. Because when I take my case from Sierra Leone, I fought against the previous government. This government that is in power, this SLPP of President Julius Maada Bio, these were the guys that were supporting me. Go look through my YouTube channel. You'll see, go back all the way. Share all my videos. Share, subscribe, guys. Subscribe, by the way. Subscribe and share. You will see all of these things. These people supported me. They shared my videos. They shared my audios on WhatsApp and everything. But now that they're in power, no, everything I stood for, now they see it as, oh, no, we cannot listen to the same guy who was telling us the truth the last time. But we cannot listen to him anymore because now he's coming against us. That is what is happening in Sierra Leone. That's a classical example. So I want to share with you guys in Africa, because I'm a liberated person. I have a people's liberation movement in Sierra Leone, and I want to, preach this across Africa. Let us have these people liberation movements across every African continent, where young people can come together and say, enough is enough. But look at this. Police are going around arresting our people, and this is what is happening. And by the way, credits to all the people, that have these videos, so I don't want to take it away from them. But look at this. See, they're telling the people to leave this place. That is in Sierra Leone. This is what happened. Back in March of 2020, when a civil society activist by the name of Thomas More in Sierra Leone led this protest. Come on, these kids are in college. Give them the opportunity, So, but this is across Africa. I just want to point this out. Like I said, this is just the beginning of, go through my videos, like this video, share, every one of you guys share. Africans, we have to find a way to spread the message. Let us use the time very wisely. Share this video across the globe. But this is what is happening. And until us as Africans say, enough is enough. And I'm going to get to the next video. Hopefully, I'm going to get to where we can start talking about what can we do as African people to finally stand up. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It might take for some countries, it's going to be a revolution. For some countries, it's going to be a bloodbath. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes for us to have the kinds of leaders that we're looking for. Because like when you look at Rwanda, you saw what Rwanda had to go through for Rwandans to understand that it's about country, right? And to all the Rwandans out there, I'm just using that as an example because you guys have to understand we have to have precedents. In life, you look at the past and say, how can I fix the future? And Rwanda is a classic example of what happened. Today, Rwanda is one of the best countries in Africa. They don't want to relive the past. They've moved past that. But Rwanda is transforming today because they've understood the principle that we are all Rwandese. So in Africa, across all the African countries, when you look at Nigeria, over 200 dialects, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be hard to bring these people together because politicians, what they do, they use tribe, they use religion, they use their regions to infect their people. So it's hard for the Igbo to see what the Hausa sees. It's hard for the Mendes in Sierra Leone to see what the Temenis, see. It is this is the gimmick African leaders use. So us as a people have to understand that. Put your tribe aside. I know education is a big thing. When I say education, I mean Anglo-Saxophone education, because a lot of our brothers and sisters are educated, but they use, Arabic as a means of communication, and that doesn't resonate with the rest of the world. So I understand that point. But I just want you all to know, as Africans, shed your tribes aside, shed your religions aside, shed your regions aside, and let's move forward as that's the only way we can move forward as Africans. All right? So I know some truth. I've said some things that's going to be, factual, that are and a little painful. But I want Africans to understand you don't deserve to live in slums. You don't deserve to live in, very terrible conditions. So we're going to leave you with this. All right? And as sad as it is, but we have to ensure that we, come together as Africans and fix Africa. All right? All right. So again, make sure you like, share the content, and we'll take it from there. I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, please. I follow. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find a better one, yeah. So something night, before the moment flies. All right, guys, we're going to leave it right here. Have a good one. Share the video, share. And make sure you like, click on the subscription button, and on the bell so that you can get all my videos when I upload them, okay? Across the continent of Africa. Africa is going to be transformed. We're going to fix Africa for Africans, all right? Okay. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to the next video, I'm sure. Bye-bye now.